kinds of things. Vaccinations, circumcision is another one. So what you do, and I was trained as an OBGYN, and this will really get to people. These are first chakra issues. These first chakra wires in our sense of safety and security in the world. And it is how we were raised, what we trust. And so many people have been fed the germ theory of disease, which is absolutely obsolete. And we're now moving into the terrain theory. But imagine, if you will, here I am. I'm a young OBGYN, and I'm taught how to do a circumcision. How do we remove 40,000 nerve endings from the most sensitive area of a man's body, which also makes sex with whoever he's having sex with far more fulfilling? And we could get into what that is with the root eye of the vagina. So you put the baby down on what's called a circumstraint. Then you tie down the baby's arms and legs with Velcro straps, not unlike a crucifixion. And then with no anesthesia, or even with anesthesia, you begin to cut off the most sensitive part of his body, while this baby screams a type of scream that any mother who has any connection with her mother bear would be horrified by. And yet, I tried over and over and over to talk mothers out of this. I gave them the science, as Carrie said. We've been talking about, we've given them all the reasons. The American Academy of Pediatrics does not know how to treat a male genitalia in a newborn. Then you take your baby in and for a cold or something, and this frickin' resident takes off the diaper and retracts the foreskin, which does not. So think about it. We're talking about cult program, all this weird sexuality stuff. And it begins with this ritual mutilation of male genitalia, which I was taught to do. And I did hundreds of them, which is why I talk about it now. It's my redemption. And I was told by the man who taught me, the baby doesn't feel it. The first time I ever did it, the medical student fainted dead away to my right, because our bodies, our barometers of truth, and we're talked out of it, so that the more initials you have after your name, and the more wonderful the institution is, Harvard, Yale, Brown, Oxford, Cambridge, the more education you have in those institutions, the more susceptible you are to the propaganda of the Draco-reptilian ruling class. The normal people see it right away. And that's what we're in the middle of.